Looking at workout number 3 for our third week in February, high intensity and explosive power. Starting off this workout, we got an 8-minute dynamic warm-up, normal different dynamic exercises to get us nice and loose. The workout itself, we only got 2 cycles, a plate cycle, and then a lot of lunges and some body weight stuff in the second cycle, a little bit shorter for the second cycle. Starting off that dynamic warm-up, we got high knees, switching to some ham kicks, going down and back about 10 to 15 feet or so. Want to get through all the movements if we can in that 8 minutes during the designated warm-up period. Here we have our Frankensteins, swinging those legs up. This should look similar because it's the same warm-up as was done in workout number 1 for week 3. After we hit our Frankensteins, we're going to switch to some walking toe touches, loosen up the backs of those legs, raising one leg off the ground as we reach forward to touch the ground or touch our toe. The leg that's on the ground you want to keep straight, and the back leg we're just reaching up. All right, after we hit our walking toes, we're going to switch to some karaoke. Foot overlapping in front and behind, and you're popping that knee, driving the knee up as you laterally step. Get some good rhythm with it, get nice and loose. After the karaoke, we got side-to-side squat lunges, or also known as Cossack squats. Adding some dynamic element to it. You're stepping wide to the side, lunging to that same side, lunging back, and then returning your feet together. Deep side to side, back together, flipping it around. Make sure we're hitting both sides evenly. After that, we go to some more explosive movements. Here we have our broad jump, going for distance. Deep down in the squat, exploding up with all our energy and landing. Here we have our bounds for height. We're reaching up with our opposite hand of the knee that's driving, like we're going up for a layup. After that, bounds for distance. We're jumping out as far as we can and reaching forward, going for distance on these bounds. And we got our crab walks, just walking on our hands and our feet. All right, the plate workout itself, we got 6 different movements. We're going to get through 4 sets, 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off, with a minute rest between sets. This will be the majority of the workout, 27 minutes total. Back to the dynamic warm-up. Here you see Spider-Man walks, reaching forward, opposite hand, opposite leg, dropping into a push-up after each time we move forward. Hand up, knee up. Duck walks, second to last movement, dropping the butt low and walking forward. Trying to keep the butt down the whole time. This is a good leg burner, helps open up the hips. And then finally, after our duck walks, we have our bear crawls, not sticking the butt too high up in the air, keeping the knees just off the ground. Opposite arm, opposite leg drive forward. This keeps us balanced, keeps us moving forward with that core engaged. The workout itself, already went over the breakdown of it. First exercise, we got our push press. Use a relatively heavy plate, 25, 35, even 45 pounds would be good. Or if you need to, you could drop down to a 10 or lower. Push press is from a quarter squat to straight overhead. After that, we hit our tricep extension, reaching behind the head and extending that plate up over the head. It's only 40 seconds on, and then 20 seconds of rest, so you can go pretty hard with these. Hay bales, we're tapping to the outside of our foot and extending across our body, then back down on the same side. After that, we have our front raises, working the anterior delts, holding the sides of the plate, raising up forward without using our hips, and while keeping those arms straight. Second to last, we got upright rows, gripping the edges of the plate or through a hole or handle if you have that on your plates. And we're rowing up to the face, working the traps, working the delts. Final movement, just squats. Holding onto that plate and we're squatting. See the sun shining off my legs, very white. Hitting good depth on those squats. Here's another way you can hold. If you don't want to hold in your hands, you can do the bear hug grip and hit your squats that way with the plate, especially if you have a bigger plate. All right, that will be the majority of the workout. Second cycle, after you hit your 3 minutes rest after the first cycle, you got a lot of lunges. Pulse jumps, so you're going hover position, knee just above the ground, exploding both feet off the ground just momentarily, returning back to that hover position. You'll hit pulse jumps on both sides, 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off, for 3 sets total for this cycle. First, you got your forward lunges, just alternating with every step. Up with the left, up with the right. Getting both legs to a 90-degree position should be a good quad burner. Use those hands so it's a little more dynamic. After the forward lunges, you got your reverse lunges. Just stepping backwards. Different stimulus. It actually should be a more comfortable position for that lunge. Your torso should remain generally upright as you do your lunges, not lean too far forward. Final movement of the last cycle and final movement of the whole workout, supine leg raises. Working the hip flexors, try to get those hips off the ground as you do those legs raises. Keep the legs straight. If you want to add a more difficult element to it, you can add a twist at the very top of the rep. Here is a regress version.